E3 season is as good a time as any to get unreasonably hyped about upcoming games. Heck, it's even a great time to speculate on which games will be at the show, much less with gameplay footage. As optimistic as we'd like to be, there are some titles which just aren't gonna make it. So let's take a look at 16 big games which are definitely not showing up at E3 2019. The Elder Scrolls 6. Bethesda has stated not once, but twice that The Elder Scrolls 6 will not be at E3 2019. It was announced early to keep everyone in check. It's probably out next generation, yada yada. And really, why would we start doubting the word of Todd now? Then again, Bethesda only recently arrived at an agreement concerning the Redfall trademark, which may or may not be the name of the next Elder Scrolls game. So maybe we'll see another teaser confirming the name. Starfield. Did Bethesda say that only The Elder Scrolls 6 wouldn't be at E3? Yeah, Starfield isn't showing up either. Whether it's further along in development or not, it seems the space RPG has a ways to go before showcasing anything gameplay related. Perhaps it's for the best that Bethesda takes its time, but that probably means more E3 time devoted to Fallout 76. Gotta take the good with the bad, I guess. Need for Speed 2019. Despite confirming in its last financial report that the new Need for Speed was releasing in the fall and then reassuring fans of the same, EA confirmed it would not be at EA Play. More details are coming, and apparently the game is shaping up well, but that's all the news provided. Oddly enough, according to its livestream schedule, EA isn't really announcing anything new at its presser, except for the next titles in the FIFA and Madden NFL series, and maybe some expansion for The Sims 4. That explains the lack of a stage event, but still. Metroid Prime 4. Nintendo's Metroid Prime 4 was formally announced at E3 2017, but we don't really know how long that version was in development for. Subsequently, the project was rebooted earlier this year and development handed off to Retro Studios. It might not be completely possible for Nintendo to provide an update at E3, but it definitely won't be showcased. Destiny 3. Not only is Bungie releasing the Season of Opulence for Destiny 2 annual pass holders on June 4th, but it's teasing the next chapter for the game on June 6th. That's right, the next chapter for Destiny 2. Not 3. Expecting an announcement of Destiny 3 at E3 is a long shot, but actually seeing the game itself is beyond the realm of possibility. Don't worry, we're sure they'll bring back some more Destiny 1 exotics in the new chapter, to be paid for, of course. Dragon Age 4. Leaving aside the fact that EA's livestream schedule for EA Play doesn't have Dragon Age 4 listed anywhere, or the fact that the game is a long ways off, or that it was already rebooted once to be more of a live service game, Dragon Age 4 simply doesn't make sense at E3. BioWare is likely still trying to phase out Anthem, yes, even with all the promises of post-launch support, while allocating resources to its next big game. Besides, if the BioWare magic is still in effect, it could be years before the next Dragon Age is properly showcased. Diablo 4. After last year's Diablo Immortal debacle, not to mention the disappointment surrounding World of Warcraft Battle for Azeroth, Blizzard seems to be currying some favor with WoW Classic. None of this has anything to do with Diablo 4 though. In fact, Blizzard's E3 presence over the years has been negligible at best, with all the major announcements saved for BlizzCon. The company won't even be at Gamescom, for crying out loud, and it's usually had something to show off there. Given how lurching development has been, it wouldn't be surprising at all if Diablo 4 was still a ways off from any kind of reveal. Skull and Bones. Skull and Bones actually generated some interest at last year's E3 because of how different it looked, being a naval combat title with a PvP focus from a major publisher. However, after announcing the game for fall 2019, Ubisoft recently announced its delay into 2020. Furthermore, the development team has confirmed that it's hunkering down for development and delivering a product that fans will be proud of. As a result, no E3 appearance. But hey, maybe Ubisoft will showcase something else. Something a bit more splintery? Griftlands. Klei Entertainment's role-playing title looked amazing when it was first showcased at E3 2017. Since then, however, it hasn't really had much news. Given the developer's support for the Don't Starve franchise and recently releasing Oxygen Not Included, it's not all that strange to see Griftlands relegated to the background. It might make a resurgence at the PC gaming show, but right now we have our doubts. Keep those expectations in check, as always. Witchfire. Though People Can Fly has upped its communication since December 2018, its first-person shooter Witchfire strikes us as still being in the throes of development. It's not impossible that the studio could showcase some pre-alpha gameplay, but given all the information it's provided on its official website, why risk getting lost in the shuffle at E3? Chalk this up as another game we have doubts about appearing, though it would be a welcome surprise all the same. WB Montreal's next game. Hey, remember Batman Court of Owls? Or was it Arkham Crisis? One of those titles has been attributed to Warner Bros. Games Montreal, and the other kinda just floated around with Suicide Squad and Outlaws. It seems more likely that Rocksteady finally reveals its games-as-a-service monstrosity for all to see rather than WB Games Montreal stealing its spotlight. But hey, one can certainly dream. The next Yakuza title. Starring Ichiban Kasuga and telling a new story of the good old Kamurocho, the next Yakuza won't be at E3 for a multitude of reasons. Sega is usually known for showcasing its latest Yakuza games at the Tokyo Game Show. Even the spin-off Judgment was announced there. Furthermore, the next Yakuza was only just announced a few months ago. Despite studio head Toshihiro Nagoshi promising something in the near future, it seems more likely that Sega would just hype up Judgment, which is out this month in the West, rather than showcase an entirely new Yakuza game. Greedfall. Developed by Spider Studio, which delivered a comedic masterpiece in The Technomancer, Greedfall is in an interesting spot. It was featured last year at E3, but subsequently delayed to 2019 and still doesn't have a release date. You'd think the show would be the best time to offer new gameplay, but publisher Focus Home Interactive hasn't mentioned it as appearing. Anything is possible at this point, but we have our doubts. Two Worlds 3. Reality Pump's last title in the Two Worlds franchise was back in 2011 with Two Worlds 2. Two Worlds 3, the perhaps long-awaited sequel, was announced back in 2016. Surely it could make a surprise appearance at E3 2019, shocking the world? Well, no. It seems the BioWare magic has caught on at Reality Pump because not only has the game still been in pre-production as of December 2018, but publisher Topware says it won't be ready for another 4 to 5 years. An appearance at E3 this year though? Not happening. Dead Island 2. Good news, everyone! THQ Nordic has confirmed that Dead Island 2 is not, in fact, dead. We don't know quite what's going on, especially since THQ Nordic acquired Deep Silver. But Dead Island 2 is still coming to current-gen platforms. Any news at E3 seems like a stretch, though. Beyond Good and Evil 2. Because it wants to focus on its core development goals, Ubisoft Montpellier will not be showcasing Beyond Good and Evil 2 at the publisher's E3 presser. All is not lost, though. A new Space Monkey report will be broadcast on June 5th, showcasing the game's progress. It doesn't seem any closer to release than last year, but hey, an update is better than nothing. And that wraps it up. If you like what we're doing, please consider subscribing to our channel. We upload new videos daily. Also, don't forget to switch on the bell notification icon, that way you don't miss out on any of our videos.